Let's take a look now at the Patriots. There's some moves that everyone's already starting to kick around. First, I want to start with Stefon Diggs. There's some thought that maybe the Patriots should move on after 1 year. The contract isn't too prohibitive. What are your thoughts on what they should do with Stefon Diggs?
Yeah, I'm leaning toward moving on. I mean, he gets that bump up, $26.5 million. That's still tenable for a productive receiver, but I feel like there might be diminishing returns with him. I always go back to how badly it ended in Buffalo when you're playing with Josh Allen, who's a great quarterback. I think most receivers would love to play with that guy. And yet Diggs kind of had some issues at the end. It seems to not always end great wherever he is. And I worry that it might happen with the Patriots, and they have such great chemistry. Vrabel has a great locker room, and it's something they prioritize that I don't know if they want to pay for the downside of Diggs when they got such a great year out of him.
So here's the thing. I actually disagree with you on this one, Chad. I see no reason why they should move on from Stefon Diggs. I thought he was a very productive season receiver in his 1 year here, coming off a torn ACL. New offense, new teammates, new everything, still hit that 1,000-yard mark. And while he wasn't, consistently putting up numbers week to week, he was still their best receiver and had some big-time performances from them. And then, yeah, he's, on the other side of 30. He's going to be 32 years old. So in theory, of course, you want to get younger. And his salary, I think, jumps up to $22 million, and his cap number is $26 million. Here's the thing, though. That's not expensive. That's pretty much the going rate for wide receivers. His $26 million cap number, I think, ranks him 13th next year, and that's before free agency. Guys like Alec Pierce and George Pickens are going to move ahead of Stefon Diggs as well. Diggs' contract that pays him an average of $21 million a year, that's like, I think he ranks 22nd among wide receivers. You're not going to do much better with the money than bringing back a guy who just came in with 1,000 yards and is a productive receiver. So I would not move on from Stefon Diggs. I think they should keep him. That moves on to our second player here. A.J. Brown is someone that a lot of Patriots fans are talking about. The Patriots should go make a trade for him. I've got some thoughts on it, but Chad, I want to hear yours first. What do you think about the Patriots moving on from Diggs and instead going to get A.J. Brown?
Yeah, I trust Vrabel on this one because obviously he knows the player. He had him in Tennessee. It was one of the impetuses for Vrabel's tenure ending there. I think the big one was coming to his Patriots Hall of Fame ceremony and saying it's not like this everywhere. I think that ticked off Titans ownership a little bit, but trading A.J. Brown infuriated him too. And I'm curious if he still feels the same way about the player. A.J. Brown's talked about how his word was, I hated Vrabel initially. But then they built up a pretty strong relationship. And if Vrabel looks at what he's done in Philadelphia, the issues he's had, but also the production, some health things with his knee, and looks at Brown and says, you know what, that's the guy I need. I'm going to trust him on that. I want somebody who's more productive than Diggs in the big games. He didn't have over 40 yards in any of their playoff games. I think his size and the fact that they could emphasize shutting him down, opposing defenses could hindered him a little bit. I want to see somebody who's more of a downfield threat and a little bit bigger, like Brown. But I would absolutely defer to a Vrabel on that particular player.
Yeah, see, I'm a no on A.J. Brown. He costs more money. He's $29 million. You're going to have to trade draft picks, which I wouldn't want to do. And I don't see him as being a huge upgrade over Stefon Diggs, to be honest. I don't think the Patriots receivers were why they didn't win the Super Bowl. I think it all tends back to the offensive line. So I think the Patriots have more than enough at receiver. Real quick, the last guy that's brought up is Maxx Crosby, a pass rusher. What do you think? Should the Patriots go and get him?
I don't like the price. I mean, they're still a team that's building, that needs young players, that has a lot of needs. Even though they went to the Super Bowl, you can go through 3 or 4 positions of real need. I want to see them use their draft picks well rather than trade them for an aging player. This is still a build, as successful as they were this past season.
So that's where we agree. Patriots, do not trade your draft picks. You do not need to be trading 2-1s for Maxx Crosby or Myles Garrett or A.J. Brown or anyone else. Keep your draft picks and use them. You need to add some youth, especially on defense.